My name is Sean, aka Prep Mode, and today I'm doing a review of the Bearded Gentleman's Mixologist Beard Balm and Mustache Wax. A while back I was on social media and I saw a post from Andrew Hennis, the owner of Bearded Gentleman brand, and they are based in DeLand, Florida. He was interested in having testers for his new mustache wax, and having mustache, I thought, hey, that's something I would like to try. I've tried several mustache waxes in the past. I've still been looking for that optimal mustache wax for something that I could use on a daily basis and something I could also use for competition as far as hold. So I contacted him and he was like, yeah, I'll get it sent out to you. And surprise, surprise, not only did he send the mustache wax, but he also sent the Mixologist Beard Balm. The Mixologist Beard Balm comes in a 2-ounce tin and has a lime mint scent. And it's not overpowering, it's a lighter scent. It does dissipate after a relatively short amount of time. You'll get a couple hours. I think it smells great. I honestly wish that the scent lasted longer than it does. I could enjoy wearing this scent all day. Doesn't have much of a radius, so it's not one that you really have to fear wearing around people who are sensitive to scents. You can see it there. You can see I've used a nice amount of it. It has a light medium hold, and it just leaves a little bit of shine on the beard. So it's not like an uber glossy, uber shiny sheen to it. It's not just a conditioning balm. It definitely does have some hold. I wouldn't quite put it as a full-on medium, but it is on the lighter side of the medium, and it does do a great job of holding those flyaways in place, while at the same time still being able to be worked through in the middle of the day, especially if you're like me and deal with Alaska winds and need to do a little touching up midday. You know, it's not something that's going to be extremely hard for you to comb through or restyle. For the ingredients, we have white beeswax, shea butter, mango butter, jojoba oil, castor oil, avocado oil, emu oil, and fragrance. This isn't a hard or waxy beard balm. It's very creamy. It's not super creamy. It's not like creamy like beard butter creamy, but it is a bit more of a creamier beard balm, and it does emulsify easily. It almost melts like butter in your fingers. So it definitely absorbs into your skin, absorbs into your beard nicely. Because it emulsifies so quickly, I do notice that I use a little bit more of it than I do the waxier beard balm, so keep that in mind when using. On to the mustache wax. Before we get started, I just wanted to note that I refer to the mustache wax as a strong hold wax. Technically, Bearded Gentleman refers to it as high hold without stiffness. This is a much better term. Calling it a medium hold does not give it enough credit, but calling it strong may cause viewers to think it is rock solid and hard to style or wash out. You will see in this video that the wax is easy to style and restyle with little effort. It is also easy to work and wash out. Enjoy the review. This mustache wax only has 3 ingredients: beeswax, jojoba oil, and charcoal. And you can see you've got the color definitely from that charcoal, but the charcoal's there for a reason. The charcoal deodorizes and neutralizes the scent of the beeswax. And if you've ever used a strong hold mustache wax, there's a good chance you've smelled that overpowering waxy smell right under your nose. And a lot of times that scent that's right under your nose completely overpowers the scent from the beard oil or the beard balm that you have in. And that seems to be all you smell for the entire extent of the product until it wears away. This, on the other hand, it does still have a scent, but it is so muted compared to the other strong hold mustache waxes that I've used in the past that it's definitely quite refreshing and definitely makes it unique from other ones I've tried. It allows for the beard oil and the beard balm that you're wearing to still shine through. So you do get a little bit of the scent, but it's so muted that everything balances out. So that's a huge plus right there, and that's even before we get into the use of the product and the hold of the product. This is a strong hold mustache wax. That being said, it actually scrapes out. I'm going to see if you can see this. Scrapes out pretty easily compared to a lot of other ones. I know sometimes even with some beard balms, your nail might be like fighting the mustache wax, but not in this case. And actually, since I received this from Andrew, they've actually started releasing guitar picks with the mustache wax to help you scoop it out if you don't like to use your finger. On to the application. This emulsifies surprisingly easily for a strong hold mustache wax. And right now I have nothing in my mustache, so I want to show you just how easy this is to use. So I'm going to just rub it together. And I saw just the other day online, someone was asking if the charcoal left a residue or if it changed the color of the hair. And I have not noticed that. And even as you see, as I started rubbing this in, the color has easily blended away. So I'm gonna put that in and use a little bit at a time. I don't overdo it. I don't just go straight in with like a scoop of it and start rubbing it in, because I want it to be blended and balanced. And I will pull out my trusty Kent mustache comb and start combing that in. Another thing I do as I'm doing this, I will rub the extra, like if there is a little extra, I'll rub that off. And I've noticed this has worked extremely well for me when when styling a handlebar or an English style mustache. The reason I did not do this review sooner is because, little side note here. So my mustache had grown out and I was really happy with how long I'd let it grow out. But I have one side that curls out just how you want it to for a handlebar. The other side goes all crazy and it's very hard to control and grows in multiple directions, and it becomes very frustrating. And I was okay with that. I was still handling it. I let it grow out, I let it grow out, I let it grow out. And then Christmas time came and all of the eating that goes along with Christmas. And it got very frustrating because the side that wasn't cooperating was constantly getting into my mouth. And I was finding that along with all of these amazing foods that I was eating over Christmas, I was also getting a side of mustache hair in that. And I finally decided, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and hack it. And so I cut it way down. Let me just say, I wish I had this product before I did that, because if I had this product then, I probably would not have hacked it off. Because as I mentioned, a lot of the mustache waxes I've used in the past have either been too light of a hold to where I put it in, and unless I applied it 3, 4, 5 times a day, it really did not hold those wild, crazy, out of control, mind of their own hairs, and they would just go right back into the position I didn't want them to go, and I would be right back to where right back to square one, putting more in. Or they were a super, super, super strong hold that they just didn't have a pleasant smell to them, and I didn't really enjoy on a daily basis. I mean, I'm not talking about competitions. For competition days, they were fine. That was great. But for a daily basis, it just was not pleasant for me to wear those. So I cut the mustache off, and then I found out about the Epic Mustache Challenge. This gives me a reason to grow it back out. And just about that time was when Andrew made the post about trying out his new mustache wax before it hit the market. Perfect timing. Win, 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 win. So glad that the timing on that worked out, because I've not had to trim it since then because of this product. Back to applying the product. Okay, again, emulsifying it, warming it up. And I always like to put it kind of right in this area, because this area always wants to kind of curl down into the sides of my lips. So I always like to put some there just to make sure that it tries to stay out. Another thing that was suggested one time to me was instead of just gluing it straight back against your face, kind of bring it out a little bit so that it can still be long and still cover that area and have that smooth curvature to it, but not be completely glued up against your lip. So again, I'm going to use the comb that through on both sides. There we go. Again, like I said, I'm just using a little bit at a time, not too much. And by doing that, this is going to last you so much longer than a lot of the other. You might find mustache waxes that come in like a 2-ounce tin, but again, if you're applying that 5 times a day, that 2-ounce tin is not going to last you so long. This one comes in a 1-ounce tin, and now I'm going to work on the ends. And I'm emulsifying right now. I'm going to bring that through the ends. So first, I'll style out for an English style mustache. And as you can see, this is just wanting to go straight out just how I want it to. That side. Give it a twist. And this, I mean, we're talking just this alone. From having used it, the amount of times I've used it, I feel confident that this English style stash is going to hold as strong as it is right now for at least 7 hours. And I definitely say that confidently because I've done this multiple times and I've tried it and I've used it like for daily use. Now granted, I haven't used it on days when I've dealt with extreme wind or environmental factors like that. But as far as just wearing it, you know, wearing it out and about in controlled environments, bam, good to go. And you saw how easy that was. I wasn't having to fight it. I wasn't having to use a blow dryer to like melt it. Because a lot of times you see people have to use blow dryers to even melt the wax just to get it onto their fingers to apply it. Not with this. From here, you can style them and pull them and twist in like a downward position if you want them to go downward. You can also go for more of a natural look by just combing it out that way. And you can see there, gives you more of that natural look. But you'll still have the hold of a stronger wax. But as you can see, it doesn't leave the residue behind and it doesn't change the color or add that dark coloration from the charcoal. If you wanted to also, you could handlebar it. And I will post a picture here of when I handlebar it. On this occasion, I did it just by holding it and twisting it up once I did the English style and then twisting it up. Another technique that I have used before involves a little trick that I got the idea from online, but then kind of did my own take on it. And while visiting family in the lower 48, because I live in Alaska, I went to a dollar store and they have the thin, they're about that big, and they're like pool noodles. And they sell them at like Walmart and other places also. You probably get them at Sally Beauty's Supply. But they're like pool noodles and they're about that long. And what I did is I bought a set of those and then I cut them to about a half an inch. And then I also bought the small little clips, the little hair clips. And so what I would do is I would style it in the English style mustache and round it around. I'd wrap it around the pool noodle. I guess I'll call it the pool noodle, the mustache noodle. I would wrap it around the mustache noodle and then put the hair clip on it. And then I would let that sit for anywhere up to a couple hours to get that strong, as close to perfect curve or curl from the handlebar as possible. And the picture that I flashed, I'll flash it again, this did not require the mustache noodles. So this was just from using the wax and curling it. So as you can see, this does have a strong hold. And again, we're talking 7 hours later, I feel confident that that style is going to stick. But if I decide, you know what, natural, not really feeling it today, I can still go back in and bada bing, bada boom, back to the English style. And actually, I'm recording this on what would be the 115th birthday of Salvador Dali. Get that little upward angle going. And I can even add, let's just take a little bit more. Emulsify that. Get those corners. There we go. Go for that straight up. So for example, if you are competing and you go for like the musketeer style where you have like the goatee and the 3 points, you have the 3 points, you have the point down here for the goatee and the points from the mustaches. This is a good one for you also for those points. Yeah. So as you see, the Bearded Gentleman Mustache Wax is a strong hold and it has a neutralized scent. Like I said, it does still have a slight scent, but nothing compared to many of the strong hold mustache waxes that I have tried in the past. It has a much stronger hold than the medium mustache waxes and gives you the option to go styled or natural, but still with the shape and with the hold you're looking for. You can check out Andrew's company, Bearded Gentleman, at www.beardedgentlemanbrand.com. And if you have any questions, just hit up Andrew and check out Bearded Gentleman Brand. And while you're on the internet, make sure to check out all the other review videos and the podcast. The podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, SoundCloud, all that stuff. We've done video reviews on everything from beard washes to beard soaps to mustache waxes. And yeah, just check it out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, do a dance, all the fun stuff the kids are doing. And until next time, cheers.